This shit more than a game.
Perfect.
Sunday was a great win for the New Orleans Saints, and it was definitely a time for us to continue to marvel at the ascension of one Tyler Shough. But being that it was our last home game of 2025, it was also a time to reflect, because we are in the state of a franchise where every last home game could potentially be the last home game of some of our fan favorites, such as a Cam Jordan, such as the Mario Davis. And this past Sunday, it definitely seemed like it was the last home game of Taysom Hill. Now, Taysom Hill was always a very polarizing player to a lot of opposing fans. But down here in New Orleans and in the state of Louisiana, we knew that he was this shit more than the game certified. When a coach would ask Taysom Hill, what position do you play? He would simply respond, yes. And before the game, I kept hoping, called it my one Christmas wish. I said, I really hope Taysom Hill has a good game in the Superdome and gets a touchdown so that he can at least have a proper send-off for what likely will be his final game as a New Orleans Saint. Now, there's a chance that we re-sign Taysom Hill in the offseason, but odds are we're just not going to have the cap space to continue to pay him. Plus, we all know that there's this guy in Denver who is going to give Taysom Hill a lot of money. So it was probably Taysom Hill's last game. And even though a lot of fans are at this point of his career frustrated with the Taysom Hill plays and the Taysom Hill packages and believe that he's lost a step or two, which all is very fair, doesn't mean that he didn't deserve to go out with a bang. And with a bang he did go out with. Sometimes I'm critical of Kellen Moore, but I can at least appreciate that this past Sunday he seized the moment, he recognized what the situation was, and he gave Taysom Hill plenty of opportunities for the New Orleans Saints fan base to just one last time marvel at his greatness. Opposing fans will never understand how much Taysom Hill means to us. They never understand why we would take out Alvin Kamara on the 5-yard line or take out Drew Brees, the ball out his hands whenever we were in the game. But we knew, because we knew that Taysom Hill was a football player, and we knew that Taysom Hill was this shit more than the game certified. A guy who had no business having a career that he had. It's one of the only players, actually, I believe he's the only player of the past 7-8 decades who has 1,000 yards receiving, 1,000 yards passing, and 1,000 yards rushing to his name. You can debate or not if he's going to be a Hall of Famer or not. I would say no, he's not a Hall of Famer. I believe you should have a very, very high standard when it comes to Hall of Fame players. But where he will be, undoubtedly, is a New Orleans Saint Hall of Famer. And forever in a day where he will always be in New Orleans and in Louisiana is this shit more than the game certified. So we send this opening rant to you, Taysom Hill. If that was truly your last game at home as a New Orleans Saint, we have two more road games, so we still get to enjoy Taysom Hill for 2 more games in the black and gold. Or I guess the gold and gold, given the uniforms we wore Sunday. But if that was your last game in the Superdome, Taysom, thank you for the memories. You should have a ring to your name. Thanks a lot, Rams and Bill Vinovich. And you will always, always be cherished and appreciated in New Orleans and Louisiana. You may not be cherished in New York. You definitely won't be cherished in Atlanta. But you will always be cherished in New Orleans. And that just means a little bit more, because down here, we know that this shit more than a game. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the John O'Barnes Show, where this shit is more than a game.
From the stands, I'm invested. Every loss served like a lesson we tested. Front porch talk turn to Sunday confessions. From dome to the block, it's all one connection. From Eric to Drew, Alvin to Cam, talk down on my squad. Boy, I be damned. I rap for the ones that never got fame, still yelling loud. This shit more than a game. Cause y'all know why. This shit more than a game. It ain't no lie. This shit more than a game. You know that's right. This shit more than a game. And y'all know why. This shit more than a game. Now I got Lil Jono sitting on my knee, teaching them young what it mean to believe. This bigger than scores, it's what we became. He gon' know off top, this shit more than a game. Clarissa in the back giving me all types of stress, but deep down she know the husband the best. She knows he's crazy, she know he's mean, but she know the kid 100% New Orleans. And y'all know why, this shit more than a game. It ain't no lie, this shit more than a game. You know that's right, this shit more than a game. And y'all know why, this shit more than a game. Yeah, when you see Jono scream, this shit more than a game. And when you see a Falcons fan, just call out for Jonathan. And yeah, this shit more than a game. New Orleans know this shit more than a game. Louisiana know this shit more than a game. Texas know this shit more than a game. Whole world know this shit more than a game. Y'all know why.
This shit more than a game.
And y'all know how we have to start off every edition of the Jono Barnes Show, but especially the holiday edition of the Jono Barnes Show. It's the most wonderful time of the year. Can y'all see it? Santa Claus is soon coming to town. Leave a this shit more than a game in the chat right now. And for everybody who's like festive like me, do me a favor. Leave a this shit more than a holiday in the chat right now on this lovely, lovely Christmas week where the New Orleans Saints are undefeated in the month of December. This is also a special episode because I'm sure you guys can see this is the first ever edition of the Jono Barnes Show that I am doing outside in the backyard in paradise. That's indeed, folks. I wanted to give y'all something a little special. So make sure, this is my first time doing this. If y'all feel like the audio is choppy or the camera's starting to look a little shaky, let me know. But for the first time ever, because for some reason New Orleans decides that winter means summer, and it's like 85 degrees outside, I was like, you know what? I got this nice backyard while I'm doing my show on location for the holidays. Let me give everybody a nice little background. I'm sure if you're true to the Jono Barnes channel, you don't just watch the streams every Tuesday, but you watch my reaction videos, my skits, etc., etc. You saw that I also had this beautiful background for the Jets game. But I definitely said, you know what, for everybody who's like the diehard Jono Barnes fans, we're going to do an outdoor show tonight and give you, it's a little dark. Good Lord, it gets real dark early here in New Orleans. I know daylight savings is done, but you can see, maybe the nice pool and some Christmas lights in the background. That was just the idea that we had tonight for the Jono Barnes Show, because I appreciate every single one of you guys for spending your Christmas Eve night here with me on the Jono Barnes channel. Even my co-host, and I use that word loosely, my co-host couldn't find time to come on the show tonight. But you guys, everybody I see in the chat right now, I'm looking right now and I see everybody in the chat, my usual favorite people in the chat. You guys come rain or shine, holiday or not, because y'all know this shit more than a game. So I appreciate every single one of you guys for joining the show tonight. We're going to talk about the Saints versus the Jets game. Of course, we're going to talk about Tyler Shough. We're going to talk about, was this the last game, as you guys heard in my opening rant, for people like Taysom Hill and Cam Jordan as well, because Cam Jordan brought his whole family to the game. Now, he did that last year as well. It seems like Cam Jordan is at the stage of his career where he treats every last home game as his possible last game as a Saint, because he just doesn't know what the future holds. But he brought his whole family to the game this past Sunday. They made cardboard cutouts of his face throughout the years. His wife made Cam Jordan cookies for everybody, on the Saint staff and whatnot. It felt like, okay, this might be Cam Jordan's last game as a New Orleans Saint. I feel more confident that this is not Cam Jordan's last game and he will be a New Orleans Saint next year than I do for Taysom Hill, which really felt like it's going to be his last game as a New Orleans Saint. So my first question I want to ask is for you guys, because you guys are the co-host tonight, do y'all think that was Cam Jordan or Taysom Hill's last game? Let me know in the chat. Did it feel like Taysom Hill and Cam Jordan's last game? Again, my opinion is that I think that it was Taysom Hill's last game as a New Orleans Saint at home. We got 2 more games, obviously. But I do think that the front office knows how much Cam Jordan is a valuable commodity to the community and how much he's adored. Not that Taysom isn't adored, but obviously decisions have to be made. And I think that they're going to work to keep Cam Jordan to be a New Orleans Saint for life. Whereas Taysom, unfortunately, we got this guy in Denver who obviously loves Taysom Hill more than I love Christmas cookies. And he's probably going to give Taysom Hill a nice contract that just isn't within our ballpark for where we are at this stage of our franchise. So let me know in the comments, do y'all think that was Cam or Taysom's last game? Bruce Saint says, never mind going to the Denver Broncos. He thinks Taysom will retire and Cam will stick around another year. Seven Rivers says, I hope not. Cam needs to come back. He is integral to the defense. Esco says, I agree. I think Taysom will be in Denver next year, but I do think Cam sticks around. Hurricane Mikey says, Taysom Hill is a 98% done. I think if we win out, Cam will be back. Mikey, I don't even think we need to win out. I think that Cam, if given a respectable contract, is going to come out because, I mean, he's always optimistic, but he's definitely going to be optimistic now given how we are finishing strong this 2025 season. Slim South also says, never mind being back, Cam still has gas in the tank, and I agree. I believe Cam Jordan has 6 sacks this year, maybe 7, and 1. That's great because, like I said earlier in the show, not in the show, earlier this season when I was giving my favorite things about this rebuild, I said, if anything, it's boosting Cam Jordan's Hall of Fame chances. So not only will Drew Brees be a surefire, bona fide Hall of Famer in 2026, but we can know that, hey, after Drew Brees is inducted, we only got to wait a few years to have another New Orleans Saint be inducted, which should be Cam Jordan. And he definitely has a lot in the tank. And no, he may not be, prime Cam Jordan. We definitely shouldn't rely on him to be like our best defensive end. Like, it would be nice to have some young bucks on that defensive line that we know are the future for sure. And Cam Jordan can play that veteran, almost like that Calais Campbell role that Calais Campbell is playing in his career right now, where, hey, we know he might give us like 5 or 6 sacks, and he's a veteran presence in the locker room, and he is a veteran presence, if you want to say, in the city of New Orleans and how much he is adored. Carl says, I have 1 more year for Cam, and Hill will be in Denver next year. My guy, the Know the Child podcast says, Taysom, yes, last game as a New Orleans Saint this past Sunday at home. For Cam, it's hard to say, but I'm hoping the Saints bring him back for another year. Bruce Saint also says, it feels like Taysom really wants to prioritize family life, while Cam sees our recent success and wants to be a part of it next year. Now, I agree, Bruce Saint. I think here's my thing. I feel like Taysom is going to be like the only team that I will entertain playing for if it's not going to be the New Orleans Saints is the Denver Broncos because of the rapport he has with Sean Payton. Now, maybe like a top-of-the-line contender, I hate to say this out loud, maybe the Rams or somebody calls and Taysom's like, well, this might be a chance for me to win another ring. So maybe that is also a possibility for him. Given where he's at in his life. But I do think that it's probably going to be, if it's not the Saints, which it doesn't look like it will be the Saints, Broncos are bust for Taysom Hill. But he also does, given his post-game press conference, seems very content that, if that was his last home game as a Saint, and this is going to be his last 2 games as a football player in the NFL, period, he had a very good career, and he's happy to, like you say, be a family man. And I would hope that if he does make that decision that we all can appreciate that, which I think that we all do, given the standing ovation he got at the Superdome Sunday. But we can show love to him and what he was able to accomplish as a New Orleans Saint, just as a football player, man. I always felt like it was very undeserved how polarizing he was to the national media and opposing fan bases. Like, I feel like if he was a Dallas Cowboy, a New York Giant, or if he was like on the Patriots during the Brady and Belichick dynasty, he would have been so much more adored and respected. But because we're the small market, annoying New Orleans Saints, it was, Taysom Hill is an annoying football player, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, do y'all see what Taysom is doing? Like, I feel like unbiasedly, even if he wasn't a New Orleans Saint, as long as he wasn't like a Falcon, a Panther, or a Buck, but if he was doing this in Jacksonville, if he was doing this with the Cleveland Browns, if he was doing this with the Packers, if he was doing this with an NFC team that's not an NFC South team, I would be like, hey, man, that's pretty impressive that this third-string quarterback has niched out a role where he's a punt returner, a kickoff returner. He's blocking punts. He's a fullback. He's an H-back. He's a running back. He's a wide receiver. He's a quarterback. He's a tight end. Like, that's impressive as hell. That's hard to do in the NFL. This isn't college. This isn't the G5 teams of college. This is the NFL. This is the best of the best. And Taysom was out there at times looking like the best player on the field. And it annoys the shit out of me. Never mind the opposing fans. Opposing fans are going to be opposing fans. We ain't worrying about them. But the national media would not want to give him his credit. Like, they would be like talking down on him or talking about how annoying. And I'm like, do y'all respect the game? Do y'all love the game? Like, what is so annoying about Taysom Hill to y'all? Because he's good at football? Because he was more successful at what he did than what you guys were able to do in y'all careers? Is it because he's a New Orleans Saint and the Saints aren't allowed to have good things? Did y'all have Alvin Kamara on y'all fantasy team and Taysom Hill was vulturing touchdowns from him? Just made no damn sense to me, man. That's why I really want Taysom to have a good game Sunday, because I know if there was one fan base, of course it's going to be the Saints fan base, but one city, one community that was going to give that man his flowers, it's the city of New Orleans. That man, Taysom Hill, is forever a made man in New Orleans. And even though the negative plays that Taysom has now, because he definitely has lost a step, or even though the fact that defenses can read the plays better now and stop him a little easier because he just doesn't have the strength and the power and the speed that he used to have, can be annoying when we got a drive going and it kind of stalls a little bit. Given that this is a rebuild year for us, I have always been okay with it. It's a little, begrudgingly annoying. It's like, come on, man, the drive is going well. Don't get the ball out of Shuck's hand. But I'm always like, in the back of my mind, I'm like, look, this is probably our last time getting to adore Taysom Hill in a black and gold uniform. So I always appreciated it. And I was like, you know what? It is what it is. It's not like we're going to the Super Bowl this year anyway. So, hey, if we got to like spam some Taysom Hill plays and just enjoy these final few games with Taysom Hill in a black and gold, I'll take it. And that's how I felt this past Sunday. And I'm glad that he went out with a peak Taysom Hill game. A touchdown pass. Should have been a touchdown reception. We got to hold on the play. And showing that Taysom Hill is one bad mother shucker. So Taysom Hill, I'm sure, as you can see from all the comments in the thread, you are always going to be beloved in the city of New Orleans. Like Slim South says, I know one thing, Taysom will always be known as the Falcon Killer. I call him, Slim South, the owner of the Atlanta Falcons. If you go on to Wikipedia, when they have the owner listed, they have Arthur Blank, and under Arthur Blank, they should have Taysom Hill, because Taysom Hill owned that franchise, man. He owned it more probably than Drew Brees, which is crazy to say out loud. But he owned that franchise. So maybe we're getting ahead of ourselves, y'all. Like maybe Taysom Hill does come back next year. Maybe Cam is the one who goes. Who knows? We're speculating at this point. But I would say it seems like the momentum is showing. Yes, Juddy, but you can roll your eyes all you want, but he owned y'all. I would say the momentum is showing that Taysom is probably not going to be a New Orleans Saint next year. And hopefully, because I feel like, if there's one player who should be in the black and gold his whole career, it's Cam Jordan. Cam Jordan will be back on a nice contract that is friendly to him and friendly to the team. And Cam Jordan can maybe see the fruits of his labor if we end up being contenders next year, given how we look right now and given how bright, even though it's not bright in the background right now, the future looks for the New Orleans Saints. But we got 2 more games either way with Taysom, with Cam. DeMario seems like obviously he's coming back next year, but you never know. So hopefully you guys as fans enjoy these last possible few games with these guys. Because I always say, look, the Saints shouldn't be a mom and pop organization. We can't be like keeping players years too late. And I still maintain that. But there is obviously going to always be that emotional attachment that you have to these guys who should be Super Bowl champions, by the way. We should have won one in 2019 with these guys who are just pillars to the community and some of the best franchise players that this franchise has ever had. So Taysom, Cam, and even you, DeMario, thank you guys. And it was a pleasure to see you guys play at a high level this Sunday in what could possibly be some of y'all's last games as New Orleans Saints. Time will tell with that. Now, as we talk about the past, let's talk a little bit more about the future. And of course, we got to talk about the fact that Tyler Shough continues to shuck it up in the NFL. So much so that if you guys look at the NFL Rookie of the Year betting odds, Tyler Shough has captivated all the way to number 2. He is only behind Ted McMillan of the Carolina Panthers right now for Rookie of the Year honors. Can you believe that? There is a strong chance, a realistic chance, I'm not just saying this biasly, that Tyler Shough could be the Rookie of the Year, which seemed insane to even utter out loud back in November. And here we are, less than a month since Tyler Shough has become like the star of the team, and he is the second odds-on favorite to be the Rookie of the Year. Now, if Carolina ends up winning the division, it seems to me that they're going to reward Ted McMillan for being a part of the Panthers finally making the playoffs since 2017. But how awesome would it be if Tyler Shough wins Rookie of the Year? And that game this past Sunday against the Jets wasn't the most exciting game. Definitely wasn't as exciting as the Bucs game or the Panthers game. But you know what? It was actually fun that it wasn't an exciting game, because even though it didn't make for like the strongest reaction video from me, or the most algorithm friendly type game that people are going to want to go and see highlights or reactions to that amazing Saints Jets game, what I really appreciated about that game is that the Saints, who have no business, I mean, look, at the end of the day, y'all, we still are a 5-win team. We might be a 7-win team when it's all said and done, but we are a 5-win team at the moment. The Saints took care of business from opening kickoff to the final nail down. That, for a team that is rebuilding, for a team that's technically still not good, We're not good. We're playing good football now, but we're not a good team. History will not be kind to the New Orleans Saints and say that was a good football team. I know we're playing just the New York Jets. I get all that. Trust me, I get it. The Jets are the Jets. I get it. But for us, because right now we're the Saints. It's not like we're this powerhouse team. For us to dominate that game from opening kickoff to the final kneel down, that was impressive. That's the type of stuff that you build on as a franchise and say, hey, you know what? Maybe we're not up on a level with the Rams yet or the Broncos or even the Jaguars. Give the Jaguars credit. They had a big win this past Sunday. Teams like that. But we know one thing. We're not at the pits with the Jets. We'll see with the Titans Sunday because the Titans are kind of coming up a little bit too. But, those teams that are constantly at the bottom of the barrel. So much so that, it's not just the on-field product that's showing it. If you look at the draft, the Saints, I feel like we're a level above a lot of these teams right now. We're definitely better than the Giants. And it's kind of funny how the Giants had so much hype after they beat the Eagles early in the season. And it was Jackson Dart, Cam Scatterbull. These are the top rookies, including me. I was giving them a lot of hype. And arguably, Tyler Shough is having a better game and a better year, than Jackson Dart. We're definitely not as bad as the Raiders right now. Damn sure not as bad as the Cleveland Browns and the New York Jets, who seem to always be in this top 5 draft territory. That's a good thing that we dominated the Jets because it shows that, hey, as a rebuilding team, I don't want to be on par with the New York Jets. I don't want to be on par with a franchise who's been bottom of the barrel for the past 15. CBS had a whole damn segment to Jets fans during the game Sunday saying how bad they felt for the Jets fans. I'm glad that's not what the Saints fans are at right now. I'm glad they're not doing odes to the New Orleans Saints fans and saying, "Oh, boy, we feel sorry for you guys for being Saints fans." I'm glad that the Saints at minimum are like, okay, we're a level above these guys. Now, where does this rebuild take us? I don't know. But we showed one thing. Rumors about demise were greatly exaggerated because all the national media and all the opposing fans were making jokes at the New Orleans Saints expense this offseason. Oh, that's going to be one of the worst teams. That's going to be the worst team in the league. They're going to be horrible. ESPN had us at 32. A lot of these power rankings had us at 32. Oh, the Saints, the New Orleans Saints, huh? Hell, me. I had us at 3-4 wins. And up until Tyler Shough came and took over, it looked like that was going to be too kind of a prediction. We looked like we were going to finish with 2 wins. But the New Orleans Saints, if anything, have shown that we are a level above these bottom of the barrel teams. We are, at least it seems like, climbing towards that mid-tier status. Now, worst part to be as a franchise, like I always say, is in that mediocrity veil where you're not good enough to get a top pick, but you're not bad enough to get a top pick, but you're not good enough to get a playoff spot. We obviously got to build off that. Like we got to elevate going forward from being in a 8 to 13 range to being in that top 12 when it comes to the playoff positioning. But I would say this: at least we're not the New York Jets. At least we're not the Las Vegas Raiders. Like we play the Raiders right now, I think we will win by 14. We played the Cleveland Browns right now, I think we will win by 10. We played the New York Giants, we did play the New York Giants, and we beat them. Like we are better than a lot of these truly bottom of the barrel teams. The teams that should have been getting joked on all offseason by the national media and the opposing fans. But for whatever reason, it seemed like everybody thought the New Orleans Saints were going to be this horrible, horrible team. Well, look at this graphic, y'all. Besides looking at where the New Orleans Saints stand in the draft class right now, in this draft order right now, and besides laughing at the Atlanta Falcons for giving a top 11 pick to the Los Angeles Rams, look at the streak column. Look at that only team that's in red. It's like they almost feel like shocked, like, damn, we got to put this one in red. The New Orleans Saints. Of all these bad teams, even the Chiefs, like the Dynasty Chiefs, and of course, that team from Dallas. All these teams are on losing streaks or only won 1 game. But the New Orleans Saints have won 3 in a row. Hey, look at that Falcons. They actually won 2 in a row, too. You got to love the Falcons, right? The Falcons going Falcon because now even their second round pick is going to be like, instead of being the top 40 pick, it's going to be maybe in the 50 or 60 range. Thank God for the Atlanta Falcons. But the New Orleans Saints have won 3 in a row. And there's a good chance that they might win 5 in a row. We'll talk about that Tennessee Titans game this Sunday in a little bit because the Titans have also been steadily looking a lot better than what their record has shown this past season. But the New Orleans Saints have won 3 in a row. And I know a lot of fans are still talking about, oh, man, we should be picking top 5. We losing out on talent. Like I told you guys earlier, shuck them picks. Because what Tyler Shough has done and what the New Orleans Saints have done the past 3 weeks have established themselves as a team that's on the rise. Tyler Shough, call him the elevator because he is elevating the talent that we have. And I use the word talent very, very loosely and letting us win games against teams like the Carolina Panthers and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, but also against the bad teams, he's doing what needs to be done. And that's dominating teams like that. I mean, Kevin Austin is our number 2 wide receiver right now. Estime is our number 1 running back right now. As down bad as the New York Jets are, guess what? The New Orleans Saints should be down bad with them, but we're not. And that is a testament and a great thing to have when you are in a rebuilding part of a team and your franchise, is that you can actually see the growth. And it's not just, oh man, the draft is going to be the day that fixes us and we just got to get a top 3 pick. No, you see the results almost immediately. That is important. How did you guys feel about that game? How do you guys feel about Tyler Shuck's performance? Let me know. Bruce Saint says, remember, we were supposed to tank for Arch. The good times. And that was one of the main ones, And look, like I said, if Tyler Shuck ends up pump faking us and next year he kind of comes back down to reality and isn't that franchise quarterback that, the Steelers thought that Kenny Pickett was going to be, or the Titans thought that Will Levis was going to be, because this isn't the first time maybe a rookie quarterback gets hot and then winds up coming back down to earth. I'll be back on that Arch Manning bandwagon. But yeah, this was supposed to be a year where we were going to be tanking and we were going to be the worst team in the league. And all these quarterbacks in the college upcoming class that we had to scout because we knew we were going to be picking top 3 and we were going to get our hands on one of these hyped up prospects. Tyler Shuck says, shuck all that. Tyler Shuck says, shuck all that. My guy Diego says, Cow Clown. He's talking about Colin Cowherd. And his friend said, don't buy the Shuck Mania Clown. I have not seen that clip, Diego. So if you could link me to that clip, if there's a YouTube clip, I would like to see it before I cast judgment on it. I'm not surprised if there are people who still don't believe in Tyler Shuck, but I tweeted this past Sunday. I say, if anything, you got to respect it, though. Like, whether you want to believe or not, that's your prerogative. If y'all feel like Tyler Shuck is not going to be the franchise quarterback because of your preconceived notions about him or because you just don't see it with him, which I think is crazy given what he's done the past 3 weeks, but that's neither here nor there. I thought you got to at least respect it. You got to respect what he's done the past 3 weeks because he has made chicken salad from chicken shit. And that is very, very impressive for a rookie. But I did not see that clip from Colin Cowherd, Diego, so I would need to see that clip before I expand any further. But Colin Cowherd, I like Colin Cowherd. I'm not going to go off on him. I know that usually his bad takes or his negative takes are heightened more than sometimes the good takes that he provides. But I would like to see that clip before I provide any comment to it. No, the Chop says the Saints are the hottest team in the league right now. I think there's some teams of the 49ers that have longer win streaks than us, but the New Orleans Saints are indeed one of the hottest teams in the league right now, which was insane to even think would be a possibility on Thanksgiving week when we lost to the Falcons. On Thanksgiving week, nobody thought the New Orleans Saints were going to ever say, oh, they're one of the hottest teams in the league. That's a testament to not only Tyler Shuck, but to Kellen Moore and to the guys that we have on this team, which makes me very, very optimistic about the future. Makes me very, very excited about the future. You know what else makes me very, very excited? The Super Chats. And so last week, we got Super Chats from the king of the Super Chats, of course, Bruce Saint, my guy Diego, all the way in Mexico, and this guy named Juan Barnes. I don't know who that is, but either way, thank you to everybody who left a Super Chat last week. Y'all know every Super Chat we get, we invest right back into the show. So please know that this shit is more than the thanks. And if we get just one Super Chat tonight, by the way, y'all, if we get just one Super Chat tonight, because it's the holiday season. Y'all know the holiday season, right? We love watching your classic Christmas movies. Mine are The Grinch and Elf and classic Christmas movies and shows and carols like that. Well, we actually got a classic Christmas John Barnes skit in a chamber, in a vault, whatever you want to call it. If we get just one Super Chat, it could be a $2.83 Super Chat, because maybe some of you guys weren't John Barnes subscribers when I did this Christmas edition of a This Shit More Than the Game energy. I will play a classic This Shit More Than the Game Christmas classic of the John Barnes community that you guys will love. If we get one Super Chat, I'll play that. And Bucks fans will want to cover their eyes if that video gets played. If we get one Super Chat, I will play that. But we only need one Super Chat. And my final takeaway, y'all, from the Saints and Jets game. We talked about the veterans who are possibly leaving. We talked about Tyler Shuck, and we talked about how the Saints were very, very impressive. Again, I need to know, do you guys think that the New Orleans Saints can be contenders next year? Last week we asked, do you guys think that we should go all in on being contenders? So I'm not asking that this time. Now I'm just asking straight up. Next year, I know we got 2 games to play, and if we wind up losing these next 2 games, y'all might change your opinion. But let's talk about it as of December 23rd, 2025. Do you guys think that the New Orleans Saints will be contenders next year? Like, are you going into the end of this season, into the off season in the draft? Are you guys going into next season feeling like we, the New Orleans Saints, are going to contend for the NFC South title, and that maybe damn near we should be the favorites in the NFC South, because the Panthers might win the NFC South, maybe the Bucs win the next 2. We'll see what happens with that. We beat both of those teams. And if Carolina ends up winning, congratulations to them. I mean, it'll be funny to get our jokes off on the Bucs fans, even though there are some annoying ass Panthers fans lately, but whatever. And that's every fan base. But did the Panthers do anything this year that makes you guys go, "Whoo, boy, yeah, we got a long ways to go before we catch up with them"? And we all know the Falcons going Falcon. So do you guys think going into 2026 that the New Orleans Saints are going to be contenders? That's a yes or no question. You can provide more context to your answer, but I need to know how you guys feeling right now, because we all know when win streaks happen, the fan base gets wild. We all know the fan base gets wild, and I mean, looking at these standings, hey, that's a chance that if Tampa Bay loses out, the New Orleans Saints might have a better record than the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, given that we beat them in the split category, and we might actually have more NFC wins than them. The Saints might finish number 2 in the NFC South. That's a lot has to happen for that to happen, but there's a chance. Who would have thought, right? Who would have thought the New Orleans Saints? I mean, geez, we only have 1 less loss than the Atlanta Falcons. We only have 2 less wins than the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Insane to think about. If Carolina loses out and we win out, we only have 1 less win than them. So it's not crazy to think that, the New Orleans Saints should be the favorites going into the 2026 season for the NFC South title. But maybe we're biased. Maybe I'm biased as a fan right now. Maybe I'm drinking too much of the Titus Shough Kool-Aid. So I want to ask you guys, do you guys genuinely believe that the New Orleans Saints will be contenders into 2026? Before I get to some of y'all answers, of course, it's the king of the super chats. He sent the super sticker, so it's not going to show on the actual comment. But of course, Bruce Saint, the king of the super chat. So y'all need to also leave a goddamn thank you to Bruce Saint. Oh, man. You got my damn hair. All right. You messing up my hair. I didn't know we had the air horns outside. I thought the air horns was only an indoor thing. Bruce Saint, thank you. Please know that this shit more than a thanks because of you, Bruce Saint. Now we get to have a happy Christmas in the Barnes family household. Y'all make sure y'all leave a thank you, Bruce Saint, in the chat, because of Bruce Saint and his super chat, we are going to play a classic, Christmas classic of the John Barnes show and this shit more than a game energy later on in the show. Thank you for that super sticker, Bruce Saint. I appreciate you. Did Bruce Saint leave a comment? I'll let him be the first one to leave a comment because he left a super chat. All right, yes, he did. So here's what Bruce Saint said about being contenders next year. He says, division contenders, yes, but I want to see it happen before I shoot higher for the Super Bowl. Yeah. When I say contenders, y'all, I'm not saying Super Bowl. I promise y'all, I'm not drinking the Kool-Aid that heavy. But I do think that, hey, there might be a pathway for us to win the NFC South next year. Slim South says, yes, we can be the playoff team. And the great thing about that, guys, is the NFL encourages parity, right? So teams can come out of nowhere and be great. We saw the Commanders last year. They were picking top 5 in 2024. And then they finished the 2025 season. They finished the 2024 season in the NFC Championship game. It came back down to reality a little bit this year, but it shows that, you find the right quarterback, or you land on a few skill players, which we seem to have done both of that so far. Crazier things have happened. Jerry G says, if the Saints win the final 2 games and the Falcons and Bucks lose 2 games, we may finish. Yeah, like I say, Jerry, like a lot has to happen, but there's a crazy chance that the New Orleans Saints could possibly finish number 2 in the NFC South, which is crazy. And I kind of am cheering. I hate to say this out loud, y'all, but I'm kind of cheering for like the Falcons and the Bucks to kind of win a few games because I want that last place schedule for 2026 because that makes our odds of winning the division much better, that we're playing like these last place teams, even though I always say you can't like judge a schedule before any season because there's too much parity. But hey, maybe instead of playing the Eagles, you're playing the Giants, and maybe the Giants are better than the Eagles next year. We never know, but at least as of now, you're like, yeah, I would rather play the Giants in 2026 before we play the Eagles. Crazy things have happened. I know it's kind of silly to do, but I wouldn't be mad at the last place schedule. But there is a chance, Jerry, which is insane to think about. The New Orleans Saints could finish number 2 in the NFC South this year, not next year, this year. Insane to think about. The Know the Chop podcast says, we're taking the crown back in the NFC South, and yes, we're going to contend like a mother shucker. Diego says he is feeling real good about next year. This is a new name. I haven't seen this name in ever, I don't believe. But the B Glass Man, he says, if the Bears and Packers replayed in a wild card, who would you pick? Well, okay, this is probably because we do the vertical chat now on YouTube, so it brings us a lot of general non-Saints fans, and I'm okay with that. I hope that we get more NFL general fans discovering the John O'Brien show, and we would gladly talk more about other NFL teams besides the Saints if we do. And when the playoffs start, well, the Saints are going to be on the couch, so I'm glad they're going to be talking about some of y'all favorite teams that actually are in the playoffs. So he asks, and you guys, you Saints fans can answer this too. I'm not the only, NFL fan. I'm sure you guys follow other teams besides the Saints. But if the Bears and Packers replayed the wild card, who would you pick? I think the Bears, Glass Man, are having one of those Commanders type seasons from last year where everything is just going their way. And those are some of the best seasons that you have to cherish if you are a fan of the team that's being the beneficiaries to that, because I felt like that was us in 2006, right? Like every game suddenly was going our way for the bad New Orleans Saints a year ago to now being an NFC conference game. We came back down to reality in 2007 and 2008. We wound up winning the Super Bowl in 2009. It all worked out. But the Bears are having one of those seasons where everything is going their way, and they are finding just the most improbable ways to win games. And from a team that was losing on Hail Marys the year before to now winning insurmountable games against the Packers that they had no business of winning last Saturday, until I see the Bears actually lose in the playoffs, I might pick them the whole way because they look like they got a horseshoe up their ass. So luck of the Irish. I see you got a Notre Dame icon. Right now it's the luck of the Bears. I would pick the Bears in a wild card game against the Green Bay Packers right now. Did anybody in the chat make their picks about your question? No, but y'all can answer besides just me, y'all. Because again, I'm hoping that we get more Saints and Falcons fans, more non-Saints and non-Falcons fans to discover the show and become a part of the community, and we can talk more in general NFLs. Now, be glad, I'm assuming you're a Bears fan, so hopefully you like that answer. And I see that Notre Dame icon. I'm a little annoyed with the Notre Dame fan base right now and how much they've been complaining about the goddamn college football playoffs, but that's another story. We're talking NFL tonight. But Mikey says, Hurricane Mikey says the Bears because Green Bay is banged up. Like Love has a concussion, which should be obviously, hopefully, done by the playoffs. And Micah Parsons is out for the year. So, yeah, it seems like right now the stars are aligning that the Bears could be an NFC championship game the way the Commanders were last year and go on an improbable run. It'll be interesting. Congratulations to your team. I hope you guys are enjoying this, Cinderella type season. Brute says the Bears would win that. Caleb Williams is on fire. So, I appreciate that question, Glass Man. Carl, back to the Saints question of are we going to be contenders next year, says the Saints are rebuilding their spot to be back on top of the NFC South. I do think that we should get at least one primetime game next year, Carl. Maybe it'll be us and the Falcons because the national media apparently loves the Falcons so damn much. I do think that we should hopefully be back on the radar enough. Tyler Shough does enough to at least get one, maybe a Monday Night Football game. Sunday Night Football doesn't seem to show us any love. Maybe we get one. I know for sure we should get a Thursday night game next year. But hopefully we get at least one Monday Night Football game and the world can come be a part of Shoughamania. We'll see. Let me see if I got any final comments. All right, no, that seems to be all. All right, and we get one more from J-Boy. J-Boy says, is there any position group that you would consider a need going into the offseason that you could see the Saints not aggressively addressing in the draft or free agency? I think we need guards. I hope we don't draft a guard in the first round, but I do think that we need to bolster up that O-line in the guard spot specifically to protect Tyler Shough because he takes a few too many tough hits, from my opinion, and we need Tyler Shough for the next 7 to 10 years. So I think that guard position is something that I don't want them to be too aggressive and I draft a guard with a top 10 pick, which I hope that we still have a top 10 pick even if we win out. But I think the guard position is one position that we got to upgrade this offseason. And honestly, man, we just need some skill players. Like, I'm happy if Kamara comes back. Devin Neal, of course. We got Olave. Olave seems like he's definitely going to get paid this offseason now. But I do think we got to upgrade and elevate our skill position. So I'm hoping that we draft a running back or a wide receiver in the first round. I'm hoping we draft maybe a tight end early in the draft, sign maybe a wide receiver, tight end. I don't know. But I think that this offseason, the most important thing needs to be, what can we do to make Tyler Shough successful? Because the rebuild after 2025 is over. We're past the rebuild now. I'm not even going to use the R word going into 2026. That part is done. I mean, technically, we could still be rebuilding, but that's not the most important part. In 2026, the main thing will be how can we elevate and build a team around Tyler, Nathan, Shough. So I say go all in on offense and give Tyler Shough the weapons that he needs. Because the defense is already finishing top 10 right now. It looks like we got a pretty damn good core of players on our defense. How can we elevate and build a team around Tyler Shough so that he can be the best damn quarterback that he can be in his career? That's what I think we need to do this offseason, J-Boy. So that's my opinion on that. And like the Northern Chop just said, let's talk about the defense. We're calling 8 sacks. And, you know, I was giving the Falcons defense love this past few months and what they've done. Shout out to Brandon Staley. The Saints have been doing the damn thing on defense. Right now, we are a top 10 defense. So shout out to Brandon Staley. That's an under the radar thing. Even with Saints fans right now, we are so caught up in the hoopla of Tyler Shough, which is not a surprise given that he's the franchise quarterback apparently. But defense has been doing the damn thing. Like Brandon Staley, you know, he started off a little rocky. We were like, oh, what is Brandon Staley doing with this defense? But the defense is putting up some incredible performances these past few weeks. And if Brandon Staley can keep that up, and if we can, you know, maybe sign a defensive free agent or two, watch out. Watch out. I think we are really building something here with the defense as well. So I'm glad that you made that comment, the Know the Chop podcast, because the defense has kind of been flying under the radar the past few weeks as we focus on the offense, which is what fans do. We focus on the quarterback. But you are right. Brandon Staley and that defense deserves some goddamn love. So I'm glad you mentioned that. All right. We got some other comments from people watching on the vertical version of the John Bones show. So Best Billy asks, God, I think we get a lot of Bears fans apparently from these vertical videos, which I ain't mad at. Chicago, what's up? That's a good market to have on the John Bones show. He says, who wins, the Bears or the 49ers? All right, you guys. Well, he also makes a comment about the Saints, which I appreciate that he's watching and, you know, commenting on the main team of the show. He says, for the Saints, put some money into the O-line. I won't be mad at that, Best Billy, but I'll answer your question. The Bears or the 49ers? Who? The 49ers are like that team that, you know, it's like going to a restaurant that you've gone to your whole life because it's consistent and you know that I know what I'm getting with this restaurant. It's always been a solid restaurant for me. Then you got this new restaurant right down the corner of the street and you're hearing good things about it. You just don't know though, right? You just don't know. So it's a Friday night and you're like, okay, well, do I go with All Ye Faithful because I know that I'm going to get a good meal from this place? Do I go with the new hipster restaurant that everybody's talking about and has great reviews, but I don't know if I'm going to like it. So because of that, Billy, I think if the Bears and the 49ers was a matchup in the playoffs, I would have to go with the 49ers. But I think I would be cheering, and I use that word loosely because I ain't cheering for any NFC team, to be honest. But I think I would be cheering for the Bears. And I wouldn't be shocked, given how the Bears are playing and the horseshoe up their ass, if the Bears won. But I think I have to go with the All Ye Faithful until the Bears say, hey, we are that team now. The Know the Chop says he thinks the Bears will beat the 49ers. Bruce Saint says the 49ers over the Bears. I trust Kyle Shanahan more than Ben Johnson. I think time might make Ben Johnson more favorable than Kyle Shanahan, Bruce Saint. But again, it's up to Ben Johnson to make us into believers. Hurricane Mikey says the 49ers would win 24-16. So, Billy, I know that might not be the answers that you want because I'm assuming you're a Bears fan, and I know that you are on the high right now, and congratulations. Enjoy the season. Like I say, you only get that one season where you come from out of nowhere and, like, you win these amazing games, and it feels like the football guys are smiling down on you. Enjoy this season, and maybe y'all continue to make us fans look silly without, you know, if you want to call this non-believers attitude in January. It'll be fun to watch. I'm looking forward to seeing what the Bears do in the playoffs. I absolutely am looking forward to seeing what the Bears do in the playoffs. Back to the Saints. Bruce Saint says, I hope Brandon Staley stays around for a couple of years because those HC openings will be calling his name if he keeps improving. Yeah, it's usually Bruce Saint, like the hot offensive coordinators that get the interviews and the job positions more than the defensive coordinator. So I do think that we're a little more safe when it comes to Brandon Staley being a target when it comes to these head coach openings. But I do say this. I think that he's definitely going to be obviously our defensive coordinator next year. If this defense continues to improve, if we finish top 5, top 7 next year and make the playoffs, yes, teams will start calling again about Brandon Staley. And hey, that's the other side of the rope when it comes to being a good team is that, hey, they're going to call and try to vulture your coaching staff because of what they were able to accomplish. So we'll see. But shout out to No Chop Podcast, because you're right. I don't give the defense enough love, and I'm glad that we were able to talk about the defense for a few minutes. All right, and finally, I'll get to another question because I'm really appreciating that the YouTube vertical version of the stream is bringing in these new fans to the show. I hope y'all hit that subscribe. Look, actually, matter of fact, look, I'm not gonna be one of those people that say hit the like and subscribe button. But if all y'all new fans who are watching the John O'Barnes show for the first time, I'm sure a lot of my diehard John O'Barnes people in the chat can tell y'all, if y'all just do all of us just one favor, we ask for one favor, it will change your life. Hey fans, hit the subscribe button in 3 seconds to make this Falcons fan sad. 3, 2, 1. All right, and the final question was from J-Ball, who asked, how do you think Sean Payton's new team will do in the playoffs? That's a good question to ask, J-Ball, given how much we have an adoration for Sean Payton. I don't trust Bo Nix. I trust Sean Payton. I don't trust Bo Nix. I think that they can go to the AFC Championship game, but my heart just does not want me to believe that Bo Nix can be a Super Bowl quarterback. Now, there have been worse quarterbacks that have made the Super Bowl. The Broncos defense will have to play lights out for the Broncos to actually go to the Super Bowl. But I don't know, and I don't think I'm going to have any faith in Bo Nix that I'm going to pick the Broncos to go to the Super Bowl, even though I have a lot of faith in Sean Payton. Everybody in the chat, y'all can answer as well, given how much, we have our feelings about Sean Payton. So, J-Ball, I'll have some of my audience members answer that question as well. But for me, I trust Sean Payton. I think that they're going to be good in the playoffs. I think they're going to win at least one game. But I do not trust Bo Nix to lead them to 2 wins, maybe 3 wins, depends on where they fall in the playoff slots and make it to the Super Bowl. But we'll see. It'll be a little bittersweet if they actually do make the Super Bowl. To see Sean Payton in the Super Bowl not wearing black and gold, that will be very, very, very fitting for how the football gods has treated the city of New Orleans since 2009. But I do not believe in Bo. I think Bo Nix is a fine quarterback. I just don't know if right now he is a Super Bowl appearance quarterback. Hurricane Mikey says, I think the Broncos will either be one or done because I don't think they match up well with other AFC teams. The Nola Chop says the Broncos might fall in the divisional round. They had a big upset losing to the Jaguars, so now that number 1 spot for them is in jeopardy. If they get the number 1 spot, then watch out, because all you got to do is win 2 games at that point. If they got to win 3 games, I feel like their odds significantly increases, so they got to finish strong if they want to have a good shot at winning the Super Bowl. We will see. I'm excited about the playoffs. It's going to be fun to the glass half full then about being on the couch in January is that there's no stress. So the Falcons ain't in it. The Cowboys ain't in it. Saints fans ain't got nothing to worry about. We're going to be watching the playoffs with chillness. We're going to be like, hey, whoever wins, right? So we will be talking NFL playoffs when January comes, when the Saints season is over. And I hope you guys stay on this channel, stay on this show. And I promise we will be doing in-depth coverage of all of y'all favorite teams as we discuss the 2025, or I guess the 2026 NFL playoffs. And then final comment I'll get to is the vaccinator. That sounds like the vaccinator. That sounds like somebody a superhero from the pandemic. The vaccinator. Get your vaccine, guys. Hey, man, I just wanted to say thanks for the channel. I really am enjoying your take so far. There are so few openly gay football analysts, and I don't know if that's a troll comment or not. I don't know. All right. So I could take that comment 2 ways. 1, he's trolling and saying I'm gay, or 2, he's saying he's gay, which if he is, amazing. I'm glad that you have a community. I'm not, but if that's a troll comment, that actually made me laugh. Hey, this is the John O'Barnes show. This shit more than the game. There's no holds barred on the show. We do not shy away from any trash talk. So if that, I think you might want to go to Atlanta Falcons channel if you want some, gay sports analysts. Okay, I think you might want to go to Atlanta Falcons channel for that. Thanks for all the comments, you guys. Now we got the comments, but we really want to hear y'all voices. So we are going to play the voicemails after you guys see how I reacted to the New Orleans Saints beating the New York Jets this past Sunday. Here we go. This is life or death, buddy. This is life or death. This is life for yes! Yes! What I told you, and what I told you. Tyler Nathan Shough.
Tell me about what?
Oh
my God! Stop crying.
I'm not crying, man. It's the chlorine from the pool. It's
what are you talking
evaporating
about?
into my eyes and stuff. Let me tell you something. I'm so glad you got to experience that with me. 2025, of everything that happened this year,
The greatest gift that I got was Tyler Nathan Shough.
You lying.
Tyler
How can
Nathan.
you say that seriously while holding your child? That I named after you. I named him after you.
By the way, I was thinking maybe we can rename him Tyler Nathan Shough Jr.
What? What the hell's wrong
Baby, I
with
already
you?
talked to the people. I got the paperwork ready to go. It just
What?
needs your
No,
signature.
no.
Come on, babe. Come on now. Who wants to be named after
You
me
wanna know
anyway?
why I don't
Nobody.
take you
Tyler Nathan
seriously?
Shough is where it needs to be at.
Do you want to know why I don't take you seriously? Ever in life? Because
Why?
of this.
Now, you know
This
this
is
shit more than the game. You know the Shough more than the game. Do you want to be named Tyler Nathan Shough Jr.?
No.
Bam! Right there. Right there. Tyler Nathan Shough Jr. Buddy, you're the second best gift, but come on now. You know it's got to be priorities. Tyler Shough, you, okay? I still love you, though, buddy. I still love you, though. Oh, but we're going to the Super Bowl, by the way. We're going to the Super Bowl next
When?
year. We're going to the Super Bowl next year.
Funny.
You need to start putting some respect on the Saints,
You need
and the
to
Saints
stop-
fans' names, because they've been talking a lot about you.
I don't care if they talk about it. You need to stop living in delusion. And you need to stop believing everybody on
Yeah,
the
you know
internet
what?
who blows your
We
brain
don't
up
want
or
this
whatever.
negativity,
Like,
okay? You look out the
maybe
boat,
pumping
we
you
don't want
up.
this negativity. Come back when your attitude is fixed, or it's going to be a very bad Christmas for you.
okay,
but it's
go.
gonna be a great
Why don't you go
Christmas
take
for
a
the
walk
whole
in the
nation,
park?
'cause you know
Go.
this shit
Go
more
away.
than the
I don't want to
game.
hear
You
you.
know this shit more
I want to
than
watch
the
something else.
game. Come on, man. You know this shit more than the game. We ain't got time for that negativity.
Bye.
She be hating, y'all. She be hating. But y'all saw that smile on Lil Jono's face. Or should I call him Lil Tyler Shough Jr.? I got the paperwork ready. I might have to forge a signature, but come on, man. Tyler Shough Mania is going wild. Tyler Shough Mania is going wild. My girl, my wife better hop on that train, because at some point we're gonna close the door on that Tyler Shough train. So she better hop on now before it's too late. And y'all want to see how much Tyler Shough Mania is going wild? Well, y'all can definitely see with the voicemails we got after the New Orleans Saints defeated the New York Jets.
What's up, Jono? This is Jerry G. Look, I know it was not Saint Sunday yet, but I'm calling on a Saturday to announce that they had two games on Saturday. They had the Eagles and the Commanders playing, and the Packers and the Bears are currently playing right now. But after the Eagles won the NFC East title, I'm here to inform, and you can let your brother Evan know about this, because I know how much you love his Dallas Cowboys, but I'm here to tell you that his beloved Dallas Cowboys are officially eliminated from playoff contention, and they got a nice selection of couches to sit on. So, Evan, how about them Cowboys getting eliminated again this year? Have a good night, Jono. I just want to inform that to you. And this shit more than the game. Who that? Merry Christmas. Happy holidays. Who that?
You notice he hasn't been on the show all season, Jerry, because he knew from the get-go he couldn't even bullshit his way out of this one. He knew what them Dallas Cowboys were going to do. I love that voicemail, Jerry. Thank you. I will play that for him. Believe it or not, he's still alive, y'all. Evan is still alive. He's just been hiding under a hole all season because the Cowboys are. That's a great thing about this rebuild season, y'all. Like, hey, we were like, look, we know the Saints are gonna be down bad, but the Falcons were also down bad. The Cowboys were also down bad. The Bucks and the Panthers ain't really impressing anybody else. Like, whatever, one of y'all can win a division. We already whooped both of y'all asses. This is almost as best of a rebuild year as you can have. To be honest, what a great rebuild year this was for us New Orleans Saints fans. Thanks for that call, Jerry. We also get text messages after games, and we got this text message from my guy Carl, who says, the more I look at the Saints the last few weeks, the more I love what is going to happen next season. We are going to take the NFC South back. Taysom Hill will be a Saints Hall of Famer and possibly an NFL Hall of Famer. This shit more than a game. Carl, we thank you for that text message.
Yeah, Jono, man, the Saints won a big win over the Jets. Man, that was a good game. Man, we 3-0. We might go to 4-0. The Titans, it's Kyle's sticking behind.
Yep, Kyle, we are 3-0 in December. We might be 4-0. We'll find out this Sunday, but that's why I say, never mind it being the holiday season, December, the most wonderful time of the year. I tried telling y'all. Y'all thought I was talking about Christmas, but no, I was talking about the fact that the New Orleans Saints, the December New Orleans Saints, can't be stopped. Next, go out to our next voicemail.
Brother Jono, what's good? What's Zam and what's shucking with you, player? It's your boy, Kai the Great, a.k.a. Cobra Kai, the host of the Nola Child podcast. Man,
Yes,
what
yes.
a game by our black and gold player, man. The Saints had balled out. They showed up and balled out in today's game. Tyler Shough, man. Tyler Shough with another great game. The negative talk gotta stop with Tyler Shough now. He is our franchise quarterback going into the future. Now I'm saying hands down. Shout out to Tyler Shough. Shout out to Chris Olave, Jawan Johnson. They played big today. And shout out to our defense. Our defense, man, 8 sacks on the day. 8 sacks, 2 turnovers, and Cam Jordan with 2 sacks, man. I mean, he had his family in the building today. I'm not sure if this is going to be his last game or whatnot, but if it is, what a way to go out. But I hope he do come back for another year, you know what I mean? But shout out to Cam Jordan. Shout out to DeMario Davis. Shout out to Brandon Staley for having our defense ready to play in today's game and just having them balling out this whole season, man. He really been doing a great job as our defensive coordinator. Shout out to Kevin Moore. He's growing every week with the play calling, you know what I'm saying? I'm hoping to see more out of that next season, you know what I'm saying? But shout out to this team, man. Shout out to us, the Who That Nation, man.
Yes,
this was
shout
a
out.
great Christmas present for us, you know what I mean? But that's all I got for you, brother Jono, man. Man, this was a great win, though, you know what I'm saying? But last thing, man, this stream is more than the game, you know what I'm saying? Look, I'm just so excited. Let's get it out, man. You know what I'm saying? This shit right here is more than a motherfucking game, and this Shough is more than a motherfucking game. Who that? And Merry Christmas.
Tyler Shough playing so well had Kai losing his the stutter more than the game, huh, Kai? But that's what Tyler Shough would do to people. That's what Tyler Shough would do to people. You're damn right, Kai. This shit more than the game. And shout out to the Who That Nation. You're right, man. For what we had to endure all the way up to get to this point, shout out to the Who That Nation, man. I definitely don't want to give a shout out to this person, but he actually left a happy and positive text message because Kamar, our favorite resident Falcons fan, has been. I don't know if he's a Scrooge and the 3 ghosts of Christmas past, present, and future visited him. That's why he's changed his attitude the past 2 weeks. But he says, I told you that y'all got the next franchise quarterback, bro, 100. He would develop even better next year if y'all can get him better weapons and protection on the offensive line. I wish that the Falcons fans in the chat, like the Juddy Bears, the Pro Ps, the Archangels, could be as wise and as realistic as Kamar is. But I'm getting a little worried. Kamar has left 2 positive texts on the show the past 2 weeks. Maybe Chuckamania is running wild in Atlanta too. Never know. Let's get to our next voicemail.
What's up, Jono? Jerry G here. Not 1, not 2, but 3 wins in a row in 3 weeks for the Saints. It's gotta feel good, my guy. It's really gotta feel good, especially Christmas week going on. What better way to go into Christmas week with 3 wins in a row, despite not being in the playoffs, but I really don't care. But it feels like we want to be in it already, but we already know in reality that's not going to happen. That maybe next year. But I just want to call to say I'm enjoying myself. We got the victory. It's going to be a great week, and I'm telling you, the best is yet to come. So all I can say is go Saints, who that, and just sit more than a game, and just shove more than a game. Who that? Let's go.
You're damn right, Jerry. You're damn right. Y'all know Jerry's excited when he leaves multiple voicemails. So, again, Jerry, thank you for that. You're damn right, Jerry. This Shough is more than the game. And our final text we got this week, y'all, was from that one Falcons fan. He said the Panthers might legit win the division. I'm not going to lie. The Bucs are the only team in the division to lose this week. Saw a post hinting at the potential retirement of Cam Jordan. If that's true, then here are 2 things. As a rival / hater of the Saints, good riddance to that rainless bum. But as a real dude, he's a competitive athlete and truly a dominant force. I don't know, is it the Christmas season or what, but these positive texts from Falcons fans is a little weird. I'm not going to lie. It's a little weird, but I do appreciate it. Thanks for that text, that one Falcons fan.
Another Sunday, another win, baby. 3 in a row. Well, thankfully, what I was hoping for this week was we get a convincing win, a 23-point win to be exact, like a big margin. Especially thankful for that. So, a few things to touch up on. First, Taysom Hill. Shout out to Taysom Hill, man. What a fucking game by him. Yeah, Kellen Moore actually utilized him very well, far better than the Falcons game for sure. Another shout out to our defensive line. I think 8 sacks we got in this game. Oh my goodness. And I think almost every sack besides Cam sacks were from a different player, like Stolberg, Young, who else? Shepard, all types of guys, man. Like, shout out to them. Alontae Taylor, shout out to them, man. What a fucking game. Now, I know. It's the Jets. It's one of the worst teams in the league. I get it. The thing that I wanted out of this game was for us to play exactly like we should expect or, hold the Saints to, which is, the standard of, okay, hey, we're playing against a very bad team. Let's use that to our advantage and beat them convincingly. And that's exactly what we did. And that's what I was asking for. So I like it. Taylor Shough in this game still, he is every single week, man, he is consistently efficient. He's efficient. He's good. There were a lot of overthrows, I would say, in this game, a lot of inaccurate passes. But I mean, what the hell do you expect? I mean, out of a rookie quarterback, yeah, you're gonna have some shit like that happens. But I mean, Taylor Shough has still been playing good. Man. And now Taylor Shough is 4-2. No, hold up. Let me do the math here. 4-3. Taylor Shough is 4-3 in his career so far. Great fucking start to his career. So either way, yeah, hell yeah, man. Saints 29, Jets 6. Fuck yeah, I like it, man. Keep this winning streak coming. So there was a subject that came to mind about Kellen Moore's 3-game winning streak. What came to mind was, I wonder if Dennis Allen has ever done that with his time with the Saints. And turns out, yes, Dennis Allen has had a 3-game winning streak in his first year as a coach near the end of the year. So basically, the reason why I bring this up is if Kellen Moore wins this next game against the Titans, he's already got a higher winning streak, his highest winning streak, better than Dennis Allen's best winning streak already in his first year. So I just wanted to put that fun fact out there. And hell yeah, dude. Let's get this winning streak. Let's keep it coming.
I appreciate that insight, Brute. I like that you bring stats and data that I certainly don't bring to the show all the time. So that's very interesting. If Kellen Moore can win Sunday and have already a longer win streak in his one season as a New Orleans Saints head coach that Dennis Allen had in his 2.5 seasons, that would be something definitely to be impressed with and to find optimism in. And another day you mentioned Bruce saying this, me and Bruce saying we are very like-minded sometimes. We disagree sometimes, but most of the time I think we're more like-minded than us not being like-minded. The part about it's just the Jets, which is fair, it's a fair thing to mention. The Jets are bad. We know. I mean, granted, the Saints ain't good, but the Jets are bad. But I tweeted this on Sunday and it actually made look at John, always making the goddamn news. Huh? They need to start paying me to use my insight. I made NOLA.com, the Times-Picayune Advocate, which is always humbling and an honor to make our city's newspaper. I said after the game, which NOLA.com quoted, people will now say it's just the Jets, and that's fair. But Taylor Shough is literally playing with the backups. What he is doing is not quote unquote easy. They didn't finish my whole tweet, but I say he deserves some respect. And my point with that, Brute, as you mentioned when you say it's just the Jets, like you said, yeah, but we're just the Saints. And again, Taylor Shough is playing with backups. Taylor Shough is playing with the fourth string running back now, and the third string and the fourth string wide receivers. So yes, it's just the Jets, but guess what, people? It's just the Saints. So let's not try to discredit what we are doing too much. I get it. If we was to play the Rams right now, we would probably get our ass whooped again. I get it. I know that the schedule has been very beneficial to us. And also the fact that our division ain't hot shit has been very beneficial to us. But it's still something to be impressed with, something to be optimistic about. Good point, Bruce Saint. I agree with you. I even made the newspaper this week echoing that same statement. Let's get to our next voicemail.
Yo, what up, John O? It's ASAP Sickness.
Hey.
Back by popular demand.
Yep.
I just want to say, after that game, Tyler Shough, man, he looked so good out there. Literally dotting them up, slicing through the defense. And not only did he win us the game, honestly, the whole team was balling. But not only that, but they broke the curse of them bum-ass black helmets. Thank you, God. Thank you, Tyler Shough, for real. I don't have to look at them helmets and get physically ill anymore. And I really hope that we just finish winning the rest of the games for the season. And I feel really bad, honestly, because I feel like Tyler Shough seen us all talking shit on draft night about how, damn, why did we pick this bomb? But I already issued my apology to Tyler Shough on Twitter, so I hope he knows, we just had QB PTSD. And speaking of QB PTSD, fuck Derek Carr for real. He's a bum. Tyler Shough already has as many wins on this season that he did. last season, and he's going to get more because we're going to win our last 2 games. But yeah, Derek Carr, a bum. Blake Grupe, also a bum, because now we got a kicker that can actually make field goals when we need him to. And honestly, the whole team been balling. I hope they keep it up. I'm really excited for next year. And yeah, I'm about to apologize to Tyler Shough again. I'm so sorry, Tyler Shough. I doubted you at first. Honestly, it was the injury. I doubted you at first. But now I know that you also know that this shit more than a game. For real. All right. See you later, Jono. Y'all have a great day.
ASAP Thickness is bringing the heat. Man, there's so many things to analyze from that call. The most important thing is right. Yes, finally we won with the black helmets. That's the insight that you get on the Jono Bones show that you don't get anywhere else. Damn black helmets, man. We were winners in those helmets until Tyler Shough put it on and said, let me show y'all how to do it with these black helmets. Also, Blake Grupe is annoying the hell out of me because he's made all his kicks with the coach so far. And I know I wish him the best with Indianapolis, but to make me feel a little better, I need him to miss at least 1 kick. Come on, Blake Grupe. What the hell are you doing? You couldn't do this in New Orleans? I'm not going to say F Derek Carr. I'm a little more lean on Derek Carr than I know a lot of you fans are, but it is good to have a young quarterback who's winning games for us that we feel like isn't just keeping us in mediocrityville, but actually building for the future. And I am glad, ASAP Thickness, that you are one of those fans who can say, hey, I was wrong about you, Tyler Shough. I apologize for it, instead of being one of those fans who, because you were so negative about Tyler Shough's pick, feel like you got to die on that hill and don't want to give him the credit that he deserves. It's much more fun to be a fan when you're wrong about a negative take for your team than to try to be like, I got to stick with this take because I want to be right and I don't want to look stupid. I like you, ASAP Thickness. That was a great call. And you're right to Tyler Shough. If he ever discovers me, it was just the quarterback PTSD we had, man. It wasn't anything against you, my guy. So I also apologize. I'm going to try one day, y'all, to get in contact with Tyler Shough or his people, given that he seems to be embracing the city. We're hoping he embraces the dish shit more than the game community. So I can apologize face-to-face with him one day. That'll be a 2026 New Year's resolution of mine. I'll try to apologize face-to-face to Tyler Shough. Let's get to our next voicemail.
All right. This might be random, but first of all, I just want to start this by saying there is nothing wrong with putting eggs on your macaroni because I did the same thing. And I put it on my eggs. Okay, so don't give me none of that. But
hold on, good job, Mikey. I wish Ziggy was on this damn call and Sean. Of course, they only show up when they want to show up. But yes, you're right. Putting ketchup on macaroni is not a bad thing. It is not a bad thing. We could do a whole damn segment on that. Maybe we'll do it in the offseason when things get slow. All right, I'm sorry to interrupt, but thank you for that, Mikey. I got to replay this for Sean and Ziggy so they can hear that.
I just want to say this, man, to Cam Jordan and Taysom Hill specifically. If that was their last game at the Dome, I just want to say thanks for the memories. Cam Jordan, we'll never forget the time you made Tom Brady wish he was never created. And Taysom Hill, the Taysom package may have not been what it used to be, but for like 5 years, it was probably the best package anybody has ever came up with. From Sean Payton to even Ben Allen to Kellen Moore. One thing I could say about it, though, is that Taysom Hill always found a will and a way. And I just want to say this about Kellen Moore, too. Kellen Moore's a fighter. I don't want to hear it of how he's not head coach material. Okay, he may not be the best play caller. He may not be the best guy with all the designs and the answers. But one thing he does, and the one thing that the Saints have been lacking as a team, as a unit, was leadership. And before the season, we were all like, can Kellen Moore lead a team? And the answer, it may have took us a little bit to find out, but the answer is yes. I don't know if you saw, on Sunday when we played the Jets, Kellen Moore could have ran the clock out. Could have been like, okay, the game's over. Let's just run the clock out and win this game. But he's like, no, that's not what we're going to do. Put him to gas. We're going to have Taysom Hill throw the ball to Olave for possibly Taysom's last touchdown, not only as a Saint, but maybe even in the NFL. Well, probably not as a Saint. He might get one of the next 2 games, but definitely his last game as a Saint in the Dome. And Chris Olave, he's showing up right now. Before the season, we were just asking for hope. We were just asking for answers, and I think we found most of the answers. And if Tyler Shough wins Offensive Rookie of the Year, why can't we build around him? Mickey Loomis, this is your chance to rebuild your reputation. Just do it.
That might have been my favorite voicemail from you this week. Well, first off, all the voicemails this week have been amazing. So thank you guys. Thank you guys. You know, for a game that wasn't the most exciting, this has been some damn good voicemails. So I appreciate all of you guys for real. Mikey, that might have been my favorite voicemail from you all season. I don't know if y'all ever noticed. Mikey calls so much that I pick up on his traits. You can tell when Mike is about to like start getting a little angry, or like when he's about to raise his voice, he'll be like, "I don't want to hear it." And I'm like, "Oh boy, Mike, you about to go on a rant." So that was funny to me. Like I saw it coming when he was ready to go off on, I guess, the kind of more haters or the kind of more non-believers. But good call, Mikey. Yeah, this is definitely Mickey Loomis's chance to rebuild his reputation, and the Saints are definitely doing the damn thing. They're definitely doing the damn thing. Somebody who apparently does not believe that the Saints are doing the damn thing, I haven't seen this guy all season, is Sports Live and the ATL. And he says, hold on, I don't want to cover my face, my beautiful face. He says, Jono, stop capping hype to these bum-ass Saints fans. The Falcons down again, but the Pootats are worse. And we are sweeping that ass week 18. Bums. I bet you wish Breeze was back. Laughing my ass off. Go Falcons. I mean, y'all know how down bad you got to be hyping up the fact that the Atlanta Falcons have one singular victory over the New Orleans Saints in a year where the New Orleans Saints were supposed to be the worst team in the league and the Falcons were supposed to ascend to the throne of the NFC South and be the top team in the NFC South and get all these primetime games, and Michael Penix Fever was going to run wild and the Falcons were going to show that we rebuilt the right way. We got Falcons fans in the chat talking shit because they have one more win than the New Orleans Saints. Oh, good Lord have mercy, you guys. Do I love that the Atlanta Falcons are our rival. Falcons fans, don't worry. We're focusing on the Titans this week. But next week, it is Falcons hate week again. And even though y'all got us in Thanksgiving, it's going to be a brand new year when y'all play us again. And we're going to have something for that ass. We'll bring that heat next week. But keep that same energy. Please keep that same energy. What a pathetic franchise y'all are, though. What a pathetic franchise y'all are. I need something better now to raise my spirits. I need something to make me happy. I need something to make me excited. So let's get to our last voicemail of the night.
This is James. Jess. James. J-E-T-S. Jets. 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 More like B-E-L-T. Belt to ass. Yeah. Boy, our Saints ain't nothing to play with. See, teams like the Jets, that's why they stay the Jets.
Follow, beat the Saints, beat the Jets, the Jets, follow, beat the Jets, the Jets, follow, and the Saints, yeah, and the Saints.
DJ, please.
Wait, what? What was that?
Hey, kids, shake it loose together. The spotlight's hitting something that's been known to change the weather.
Oh my God. What the hell was...
Say Benny and Ronnie, haven't seen them yet. Ooh, but they're still spaced out. Benny and the Jets. Oh, but they're weird and they're wonderful. Oh, Benny, she's really keen. She's got electric boots, a more suit. You know, I read it in a magazine. Oh, Benny and the Jets. Benny and the Jets. Benny and the Jets. Can we cut them all off to the Jets? This is James.
Okay. That was different from James, just James. I think he I think James messed up his AI this week. I think James messed up his AI. I'm as confused as y'all, guys. Yeah, was he listening to... Did he press the wrong button on his video this week? Wow. All right, guys. Leave a voicemail at 504-484-9170. And because oh my God, I can't hold it. Wow, that was confusing. Because we got a super chat from Bruce saying, let's get the show back on track. We're gonna play a classic Christmas video from Jono Barnes and the This Shit More Than the Game community to celebrate how wonderful of a season this is. So if you were not on a Jono Barnes train in 2021, you might have not seen this, but this is a classic Christmas tale that you should probably always play to your kids each and every Christmas year. And because we got a super chat from the great Bruce Saint, here is Twas the Night Before Saints Miss.
Ho, ho, ho! Would you guys like to hear a story before Christmas? Okay, what story do you guys want to read? I don't know. We've read this story many, many times. It gets kind of old. Here's what I'll do for you guys. I'll read you guys one of my favorite stories. It's called Twas the Week Before Christmas. All right, here we go. 'Twas the week before Christmas, when all through Tampa Bay, not a cannon was firing, and all their fans were stupidly wearing red. The NFC South champion shirts were stored off in care, in hopes that a win soon would be there. The fans were snuggled all in their seats, with weed-ad jokes in the drafts of their tweets. And Brady in his makeup and Bruce in his Kango cap rushed to the field, not knowing that ass was about to get waxed. When out in the tunnel, there arose such a clatter. Bucs fans rose to their feet to see what was the matter. When what to Bucs fans' wondering eyes should appear, but a team for the badasses and an all too familiar cheer. With no Peyton or Jameis, yet no excuses or complaints, they knew in a moment, it must be those Saints. More rapid than Falcons, the defense they came, and Dennis Allen whistled and shouted and called them by name. Now DeMario, now Chauncey, now Jordan and Quan, on Davenport, on Lattimore, on Jenkins and Bond, to the top of their field like a black and gold storm. Now sack away, sack away, sack away, Tom. As dry leaves that before that wild hurricane fly, when they hit Mr. Brady, to the refs he would cry. So sideline to sideline they ran and they flew, with turnovers galore, and Garner Johnson talking shit too. And then, in a twinkling, they heard the analysts give their expertise, for all of them picked the Bucs to win, except for the GOAT Drew Brees. As Bucs fans began to wonder if the Saints were their father, down the uprights came field goals from one Brett Maher. He was dressed in white and gold from his head to his foot. And who would have known that 9 points would be all that it took? A bundle of 3 and outs gave the Bucs a chance to come back. But tried as he might, Brady could not escape the sacks. His eyes, how they twinkled, his dimples, how mad. His face red like roses as he threw his Microsoft tablet iPad. His droll little mouth cursed out the team, and the tears in his eyes was that of Saints fans' dreams. He lost his wide receivers, those injuries they felt, and Saints fans laughed when they saw him, in spite of themselves. I mean, seriously, cry me a river, Bucs fans. Have you seen our injury report all season? As the Saints celebrated, while the stadium sat there stunned in their all red, soon let the Bucs fans know the result would be something they all dread. Saints fans said not a word. They knew Tampa was light work, as Bucs fans grew angrier and called us some jerks. They cried how they win the games that matter, and how getting swept was their goal. And blah, 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 something about this game being a Saints Super Bowl. I mean, they said that in October, too. Don't they know you can't use that joke twice if you... Never mind. The fans headed for the exits as the Bucs offense begged for survival. For Bucs fans sadly realized they will never be our rival. But they heard the Saints exclaim as they danced off the field, "Happy Christmas to all." Hey Bucs fans, we just swept you with Trevor Siemian and Taysom Hill. Hey fans, hit the subscribe button in 3 seconds to make this Bucs fan sad. 3, 2, 1.
That was a classic. That was a classic. Bruce Saint even said it best. That's when we all was like, "Oh man, Dennis Allen might be something." We like Dennis Allen. Yeah, he could be our next head coach. What a classic that was. Hasn't been much bright days since then, but we'll always have that Christmas classic with the Who Dat Nation. Now, before we end this show, and I'm gonna let you guys go and enjoy y'all Christmas holiday, we got to talk about this Sunday and the New Orleans Saints taking on the Tennessee Titans. Another favorable matchup, maybe when it comes to the schedule, because the Tennessee Titans are currently picking 5 in the NFL draft, which means they're not that good either. They only have 3 wins, but they have won their last game, and Cam Ward is looking really good. He, I would say, probably might be a level above Tyler Shough, but it's still way too early. But Cam Ward has been very impressive. So I think it's going to be a very interesting game. At some point, you got to wonder, do the injuries continue to become too insurmountable to overcome? We lost Brian Breezy this past Sunday. We lost Foster Moreau. We still probably won't have Alvin Kamara. We'll see if Cesar Ruiz comes back. At some point, do you feel like, Tyler Shough can continue to make magic with what the options that he has? We're going to be in Tennessee, so you want to give Tennessee that favorable advantage of being a home field team. Cam Ward is looking better with each week. Has a little bit more experience than Tyler Shough because he started the first game of the season, so we'll see with that. I'll say this though. I also wasn't that confident about the Jets game too, because I'm like, at some point, I just keep feeling like as a fan, maybe I'm just having PTSD is going to catch up to us. These injuries and the fact that we're not supposed to be as hot as we are right now. So I kind of want to feel like and say, and I hate to say this out loud, and I feel bad for you guys because I've just been hyping up the team for the past few hours, but I think that the Titans kind of bring us back down to reality. And if you want to call it an upset, you can call it that. I just think that the injuries right now are becoming too insurmountable for us to overcome. I think we're going to put up a strong performance. I think that we're going to make it a competitive game. I just think that being at home for the Titans, Cam Ward continuing to improve, and us having a bit more significant injuries than the Titans, I got the Titans ending our win streak. But if Tyler Shough can win this game and continue to prove me wrong like he's done his whole career so far, I will not be mad whatsoever. Mikey says that he has the Saints winning 23-17. Brute Saints says this will be a tougher game for sure. The Titans defense is not a sleeper either, but he still believes that the Saints will win 21-17. And the Nola Chop podcast says our defense has got to contain Tony Pollard. They also got to contain Ty J. Spears, who I'm assuming is going to want to have a big game, even though it's not in New Orleans. He's going to want to show off for everybody watching at home in New Orleans and probably say the Saints should have took me with that pick instead of Kendra Miller. So it's going to be interesting. I think it's going to be a fun game more than what people might see if they look at the records. Jeremiah, what up, my guy? Says we're going to beat them Titans, y'all, 41-24. I don't know if this team has the talent level so far to put up 41 points, but we will see. I hope Tyler Shough continues to prove me wrong. I mean, honestly, because I'm picking the Titans, y'all should probably go easily bet against the Titans because given what Tyler Shough has made me look like the past 4 months, I think that anything that I say, Tyler Shough always proves wrong. So I'm looking forward to a good game, though. I think it's going to be a lot more entertaining and fun than that Jets game this past Sunday. I know the chap also says a tough task for us. The Saints is going to be a close game, but the Saints will win 24-13. So obviously, I am the only one right now who I don't want to be a Debbie Downer, but it's picking against the New Orleans Saints. Everybody has Shough-mania. They think Tyler Shough is going to do the damn thing, and I hope that you all are right. And that Tyler Shough continues to make me look stupid. ASAP says we are finishing with 7 wins. She thinks we're going to win. She's already focused on Falcons hate week. She said, man, I ain't worried about the Titans. That's a win. We're finishing with 7 damn wins. Well, hopefully, ASAP, these Falcons fans show their face again next week. I mean, they're on a win streak themselves, so maybe they're going to come out their hole ready to talk shit about us. And we can see, because there's one team left. Y'all ever seen that meme where it's the debt guy in the cloak, and he's like knocking on each door, and like the final door is waiting to be answered. Well, that's how Tyler Shough is. He knocked on the Bucs door. They opened it, sliced them up. Boom, dead, y'all gone. He knocked on the Panthers door, sliced them up. Boom, dead, y'all gone. There's one team left in NFC South. The Tyler Shough needs to slice up. That's some damn dirty birds. It's going to be a very, very fun way to end the 2025 season of the John O'Brien Show when it comes to our New Orleans Saints. But before then, we got to focus on those Tennessee Titans. So like the North Chap says, Shough-mania is running wild in New Orleans, and hopefully you guys have Christmas mania running wild Thursday. I hope that you guys have an amazing amazing Christmas. Y'all know how much I love Christmas, right? So I've just been soaking in, the Christmas season since November. And I'm almost kind of sad. I'm one of those people like when it's like 10 days away to Christmas, 5 days away to Christmas, I get sad. I'm like, damn, that means the season is almost coming to an end. Like I love Christmas season so damn much, man. So I'm definitely going to cherish and enjoy Christmas Eve tomorrow and then enjoy Christmas Day with my family. And I hope that you guys all enjoy it with your family and friends too. And I'm very, very grateful that you guys spend Christmas Eve with me on my channel. And it means the world to me. You guys are the greatest Christmas gift that I can ever ask for. So thank you. One thing I wanted to tell you guys, there is a way that you guys can get some this shit more than a game energy on Christmas Day. And you guys can get even more John O'Barnes, because Lord knows you all want more John O'Barnes, huh? There was a way that you guys could get more John O'Barnes on Christmas Day. Because on Christmas night, for everybody who lives in the New Orleans, Louisiana area, I apologize. I actually told you guys this was going to air on Monday last week. And obviously Monday has passed and it did not air. But on Thursday night, Christmas night, I am going to make my in-studio debut on Fox 8 WVUE, and I will be on Final Bet with the great Garden Gillen. And we had an amazing time. We taped it on Monday. We talked Saints. We talked Pelicans. We talked Tyler Shough Mania. I talked why this shit more than a game. I talked about my YouTube channel. I gave you guys a shout out, so look out for that. I talked about my days as a ball boy with the New Orleans Hornets and Pelicans. It was an absolutely amazing time. And I want you guys to watch it. Maybe y'all can analyze me. Y'all can scout me. Y'all can tell me what I need to do better, because hopefully I believe this is going to be the first of many in-studio appearances that I make on our local newscast. Now, if you're not in the New Orleans area, if you do not get Fox 8, I would say, man, yo ho, a pirate's life for me. Go find a streaming link on a private website and go watch it. But also, it's going to be on YouTube as well. So I'll definitely post it in my YouTube community tab for you guys to watch the interview. But if you are in the New Orleans area, man, what better way to end your Christmas night than at 10:30 p.m. you tune into Fox 8 and you watch me on Final Bet making my in-studio debut. And again, I told you guys this last week, stuff like this is not possible without you guys giving me this audience and giving me this platform. So I thank you guys. I hope I make you guys proud when you watch the clip, the episode. And it was a fun time and it was an amazing time. And gather your family up on Christmas night. Make one last glass of hot cocoa, sit by the fireside, and end your Christmas night watching John O'Barnes on Fox 8. Final Bet, 10:30 p.m. Central Time, as we talk Saints, Pelicans, and why this shit more than a game. Yes, Jerry, it will be on YouTube. I will post it in my community tab for you guys. So hit that bell notification, because I believe whenever I post on the community tab, you guys get notifications as well. I'll post it, of course, also on my social media. So if you guys are on social media, on Twitter and Instagram and all that good stuff, I'll post the link on that as well. But if you are in the New Orleans area, there's no better way to end your Christmas night than watching me on Final Bet on Fox 8 at 10:30 p.m. Thursday night. And I was very excited to do it. And I'm excited because it makes me feel like I am rewarding you guys for giving me the platform that I have, that I'm getting opportunities like that. Like, it kind of blows my mind. That little old Jono, who went to journalism school, by the way, y'all. I went to journalism school. But what got me on TV finally to be an analyst, if you want to say, was screaming into a goddamn camera that this shit more than a game. What a world. What a world. I appreciate you guys. Have a very, very Merry Christmas. Catch me on Fox 8 Thursday night. And always remember that this shit more than a game, and this shit more than a holiday. Merry Christmas, everybody.
You know.